your Illinois Realtor 2021 president. And I'm joined today by Curtis Hunt, president of the LGBTQ Real Estate Alliance's Chicago chapter, or simply the Alliance for short. Today, we're going to spend a little time getting to know my friend Curtis, and he's also got some exciting news and updates to share with us about the Alliance. So, Curtis, let's start off with a little about you.
Hey, Sue, it's Curtis Hunt. And as Sue mentioned, we are excited to host this quick little get to know you. I can't wait to share some information about the new group, the Alliance. It is a new LGBTQ plus real estate community. But before we dive into kind of our conversation, I thought we'd turn our attention to a quick little mini doc about the LGBTQ history, their accomplishments, and what we're looking forward to in the future.
In recent years, June has been recognized as Pride Month, encompassing the diversity of celebrations and members of the LGBTQ+ community worldwide. Most Pride events were originally held in June to memorialize the Stonewall Rebellion, which occurred in New York City on June 28, 1969. During a police raid on the Stonewall Inn, approximately 200 patrons and neighbors resisted detention and disbursement, with police eventually barricading themselves inside the bar. Many historians point to Stonewall as the event that galvanized the modern LGBTQ+ movement. If the right to assemble in a private tavern was not guaranteed in 1969, imagine the perils of trying to purchase a home or simply find housing. Recent victories such as the 2015 Supreme Court decision making same-sex marriages legal in all 50 states may be helping though. The number of married LGBT homeowners is 73%, according to the National Association of Gay and Lesbian Real Estate Professionals. While much progress has been made with regard to legal rights and social acceptance in the United States, the LGBTQ+ community are not federally protected from housing discrimination. The National Association of Realtors has prioritized the Federal Equality Act, which would extend fair housing and other civil rights protections to LGBTQ+ Americans. This would bring federal law in line with the Realtor Code of Ethics, which forbids members from discriminating based on sexual orientation and gender identity. Recently, NAR announced a partnership with the LGBTQ+ Real Estate Alliance, or the Alliance. The Alliance has quickly made a name for itself as an events-oriented networking group that will be a force for good in the real estate industry. To learn more about the Chicago chapter, visit the Alliance's Facebook page.
Curtis, that was a great little mini documentary and welcome and an introduction to everything that we do. But I want to spend a little more time talking about you. So I'm really glad that you had a moment today to share some of you. And most of our viewers today, our audience, members of Illinois Realtors, may or may not have known you. You have a background in the service industry and a strong track record in real estate. So first and foremost, let's throw that ball in the court. What led you to becoming a realtor?
Well, you're right. I did come from the service industry, which is, I always think our industry attracts some of the most ambitious service related people around. So I was working restaurants, bartending, and that's where I came from. And that's how I fell into real estate, because I saved up my shekels and I bought my first condominium 20 years ago. And I just love the process so much that is kind of how I fell into it. At the end of the process, I bought my condominium and wanted to continue. And I was just like, I think I can do that for a living. And that was 20 years ago. And I've been in the business ever since with the same brokerage.
That's not an untold story. Many of my clients have often become real estate professionals because they absolutely love the journey. And often the journey becomes the path. And I heard recently you took on some major new responsibility with our company. What responsibilities have you taken on?
It's kind of funny. I am called the City Central Sales specialist. That is just to be a pun. That is a lot of S's for any a gay man to have to say in one sentence. The City Central Sales Specialist. I'm with Coldwell Banker. I have, like I say, been with Coldwell for 20 years. And really all that means is I help the leadership team of the West Loop, the Gold Coast, and the Lincoln Park Coldwell Banker offices. I'm just more of, it's a fancy name for I'm a helper. I help all our agents with tools, leveraging people or organization systems. That's really all I do. I'm just there for the agents.
You have been a leader always in the past, and I understand you're taking on a new leadership role for a great new adventure. And I would like you to tell us about this new shift and the new project that you're taking on with this thing called the Alliance. What can you tell us?
Well, the Alliance as of last week has, talk about new, it's brand new. It happened last Wednesday. We are very, very excited that the National Association of Realtors has partnership with the Alliance. I can't tell you how hard the Alliance leadership team has worked for and towards that goal. CAR, Chicago Association of Realtors, got on board with the Alliance a few months ago, but it's just we're so thrilled that the National Association of Realtors, the NAR, has adopted us as the LGBTQ a group. The Alliance is a non-for-profit group, and it's just new. It's so exciting to be on the foundation, the ground floor of a group that has just a huge amount of energy behind it. And we are just creating such great activity across the country. We've got over 1,200 new members nationally, with over 60 different chapters from Hawaii to Florida. I mean, it's just a really great new group.
So as a new group, what's the main mission of the Alliance?
Well, we have kind of a motto. It's mostly, it's all real estate centric, but you don't have to be a real estate agent to be in it. But it is a group that is friendly towards the lesbian, gay, transgender, queer plus community. If we were to say what our theme is, it is to advocate for the LGBTQ community, to elevate the LGBTQ community, and then at the very end to celebrate the community and everything that it's done, everything that it's gone through in the past, and everything that we're looking forward to doing in the future.
So Curtis, you've talked a couple times about the Equality Act. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Equality Act?
I'm really excited about the Equality Act because it does extend fair housing to the LGBTQ community. And it all started in, at least I believe it to have started in Chicago. So with any, I'm going to say, sense of decency, the Senate will pass that this year. It's unbelievable that that is still a discussion that is being had in 2021, but it is. That is how and why we do need the Equality Act to pass the Senate. And once again, we stood on the shoulders of people that came before us.
Well, it sounds like your mission is really shaping up to be obviously advocating, celebrating, educating. Are there any specific goals or initiatives that you think are going to come out of that conversation of creating that mission statement and really talking about that advocating and educating and elevating? Is there anything specific that the Alliance wants to focus on and continue to push forward besides advocating and celebrating? Is there something in particular that they're focusing in on?
I mean, like this month is Pride Month, so it's kind of
Mhm.
always been a very special time for the gay community as a whole. This month we are doing our very first face-to-face after COVID. Like I say, this is we just kind of got going in October. So we are doing our very first event, our face-to-face event. We are doing a benefit for a Light Collective. It is a underage homeless LGBTQ centric homeless group. We're very excited about, there's going to be a celebration of Pride in Grant Park this year. I know there was talk about that they were canceling the Pride Parade, but you can't cancel the Pride. The LGBT community is always excited, is always energized, whether we're real estate agents or, whether we're attorneys or whatever we are. Everybody always looks forward to Pride Month, and there's just no way you could cancel Pride.
Well, that's so true. And that leads me right into my next question that talks about you and your involvement in the LGBTQ plus advocacy prior to becoming a realtor. Did that inspire you or motivate you to intersect your real estate world and your advocacy efforts? It sounds like you're deep-seated and passionate about that process. So tell me more about that past and your future and how those things are intersecting.
I kind of think, like real estate, we always stood on the shoulders of our people that we came from our past. Whether it's us as business owners, sole proprietors, we didn't reinvent the wheel. As is with our advocacy work, I don't think, the gay community would be where it was or is. I don't think we would be as far accepted, considering, in the 80s, everybody was in the closet in the 80s, and we've done different advocacy work whether it was the pride parades, or, to tell you the truth, the AIDS epidemic really blew the hinges off of everyone's closet doors. There was no way that the gay community was going to be able to stay in the closet during the AIDS epidemic. We had no choice but to come out of the closet in a strong way, and that's where ACT UP came from. I was living in Los Angeles at the time, and we literally just closed Santa Monica Boulevard down. We had to be advocates, we had to make some noise, and I kind of think, we came from our history, we came from our past, and that's, whether it was the riots in New York that started the gay movement, that proceeded to the 80s, to the 90s, and where we are today. We're now able to get married, and with any luck, we'll have the Equality Act that will pass the Senate very soon.
So tell me more about the Alliance and your membership, and what do they say about getting together, and what do they love about the new formation? Clearly, they're brought together for a common goal and a common mission. But what do they say? Why are they there? Why have they joined this new group?
It's we're really focusing on the transparency of the group, on the energy of the new, creating something from scratch, creating a new real estate centric group. You don't have to be gay, you don't have to be lesbian to be into the group. You just have to be friendly towards anybody that is different. We're all different. All real estate is different. All real estate agents are different. all people are different. And as long as you're accepting of other people, we're welcoming with anybody. And that's kind of what our focus on. We have a huge LGBTQ senior population that needs our help. And we also, on the other side of the spectrum, we have underage kids that are kicked out of their home for being gay. So there's plenty in a liberal city to focus on, and that's what kind of brings us together. I think everybody in the group, if we had a common denominator, it's that we want to, make a positive, memorable change in people's lives. And how we do that is by a group working towards a specific goal.
Well, certainly your timing couldn't be any better with the nation being open to diversity, equity, and inclusion. The emergence of a group called the Alliance couldn't be any better, that people are open to new ideas, whether you're in a very liberal city or a very rural space. Everyone's eyes and ears are open to those new words. And I'm so grateful for that, and so grateful for people like you that are willing to lead that and to have those conversations. So, again, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your group's leadership, because the more conversations we have, the more learning that occurs. And really, that's what it's all about. People are afraid of what they don't know. And you and I both know that. And that's been the lives that we've led. That, again, conversation leads to knowing, knowing leads to comfort, and comfort leads to good things. So how does one become a member of your group, or how do they join the Alliance?
It's really actually very, very easy. If you were to go to realestatealliance.org online, that is the group. It's just a huge directory, because the idea of the group is not just not advocating for the LGBT community, but it's also a networking group. We're going to meet out in Las Vegas in September, but there is a huge directory from all the real estate agents across the country that maybe you've got a referral going to San Diego, or maybe somebody in Denver's next door neighbor is moving to Chicago. So it's all inclusive, and you would just go on. It's $195 to join the group. And once you're in, it's kind of just a very tightly knit community. Everybody really knows everybody. It crosses brokerages. We have people from huge companies down to like little micro brokerages. Everybody's excited to be in the group, and it's like I say, it's such we're building it from the ground up, so everybody knows everybody. And it's just really nice. And I don't mean everybody just knows everybody in Chicago. I mean, I kind of feel like I know these people that are down in Dallas, Texas. Our first virtual event was a speed dating that we did on Valentine's Day. You got to meet different agents from across the country for like 2 minutes. It was just kind of a kitschy little fun referral networking group, and that's kind of what it's built on. But no, you would get to you get to be a member by just going to realestatealliance.org.
That's great. So realestatealliance.org, $195. I'm assuming that's an annual fee?
It is, yes.
Perfect. And of course, I'll add what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Is that the motto of the group?
It is going to be, it's actually at the newest of the resorts that have opened up there. And I'm sorry, I should know this, but it's not even open. It opens like in July. I think the Alliance is going to be one of the first big conventions there. I know we're expecting over 1,000 people, so it's going to be a fun event. Sit by the pool and get a suntan and learn something.
Fun will be had by all. Well, and of course, the last question, which I've saved for the last because it's going to be the best. You've talked a lot today about Pride Month and how important it is to show who you are and how you support all others. How are you going to recognize and celebrate Pride Month? Of course, it's all of June. So Curtis, how are you going to show your colors and celebrate Pride Month?
It's going to be so fun because it's a new, not only is the Alliance a new group, but the Grant Park Pride Fest is a new fest. I don't know if it was the mayor's idea. I'm not sure whose idea it is. But you know, the parade was so spread out over so many city blocks. This is going to be, it's going to be contained. Everybody's going to be together. I'm really, really looking forward to that, to go down. Where else can you go for a bike ride? Down to Grant Park and stay for the afternoon and just be with throngs and throngs of fun people. That's going to be the highlight of my month.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be a blast. Everybody is just wanting to be outside, to be together, to be celebrating. And what better to celebrate than diversity and inclusion under a rainbow flag? So it can't be better than that. Curtis, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us, sharing of yourself